as we have talked over the course of a year-and-a-half campaign, to see the president-elect leading the country now and creating bona fide, concrete results is extraordinary. Your reaction?
He's had more results as a president-elect than I've seen in the last 8 years coming out of Washington. Everybody said it's impossible to bring these jobs back. Manufacturing jobs are lost. Well, look at it, one company after another.
It's stunning, and and I think of all the candidates that ran against him in the primary, and of course Hillary Clinton in the general, and all of the nonsense and the rhetoric and the attitude and the bombast and all of that amounts to nothing. He's been this guy, if can I refer to the president-elect as this guy? I mean, he's been this man with his talent, his abilities, his intellect, and people still begrudgingly give him credit for what he is already accomplishing. It's really stunning to me.
And bearing enormous fruit for the forgotten man, the person he said he was running for. That average, hardworking American somewhere in Youngstown, Ohio, or Western Pennsylvania, or Central Michigan, or Wisconsin, who for the last 8 years has been marginalized as having any value in our government. And now you see him using not only his bully pulpit, Lou, and we've talked about that a lot on your show, but the policies. We know, the markets know, companies know, Donald Trump is going to deregulate, he's going to cut taxes, repatriate profits, and he's going to focus on creating American jobs, and that's why they're responding from Ford to Carrier and beyond the way they are.
It truly is amazing, and I don't think people are going to get, for example, Richard Trumka, the head of the AFL-CIO, volunteering to work with the president. Here's big labor coming in to say, you know what, we would like to talk to you very much about redoing these free trade deals. You know, where was Richard Trumka during the campaign? Well, he was where a lot of other people were, with someone who is no longer in the equation, but showing signs of being willing to lead, to work together, and Trump absolutely already beginning to unite the country.
It's unbelievable, and he's not getting credit for it. One of the things that people are talking about is his tweets and how inappropriate they are. Well, he is starting conversations on Twitter that need to be had. He's calling out companies who are moving their jobs to other countries and saying, I'm not going to take that. It's a conversation that is just, it's not going to be swept under the rug, and he's going to call people out on it. And we're having these conversations that he promised that he would have, and he's making moves, and we're going to see this continuously. And I think people have got to learn that this is a new way of communicating. Nothing will be swept under the rug under Donald Trump.
And there is also clearly in the national left-wing media, there is part of it is a laziness. They have adopted these anti-Trump positions, anti-Republican positions. And it's easier for them to continue the campaign than to think anew and to look with fresh eyes at what is happening, to open their ears to new words and meanings. It's really remarkable. And at some point, I believe the president-elect is going to outwork them to the point they're going to have to exceed.
I would hope they actually maintain that posture, Lou, because they're missing the boat, and we're winning as a result. And you see it in every action Donald Trump takes, from today, challenging his Republican colleagues in the House on ethics reform, and a maneuver he thought was very ill-advised, and they changed. So,
and did you notice the way he said that, Lee? He didn't say, you know, he was very nice the way he said it. There could be other considerations for priorities like mind.
Well, he set the agenda, man. He won.